Meyer in Miami is always a challenge. Really, really good players, lots of 1v1 talented kids. Never quit. We knew it was going to be a real battle. We forced them a bit into plan B. They took more threes and made more threes by a factor of 2 than they usually take. So we really guarded the paint well. Didn't shoot it well. We just kind of played not our best, a little slow offensively. So I have a good team when you can find a way to win. Good to see Maria asserting herself. That she gave us big minutes, and Reniya is just she's growing up right in front of our eyes. Has a great comfort, knows how to play the game, but is really learning how to play it the way we want her to. And I thought she was huge tonight, so brought them with me.
So when they cut it to 7, you looked pretty unhappy on the bench. You called a timeout. What were you seeing, and what was your message to the team during that timeout?
Yeah, we were not switching. When we switched, we want to switch higher, so we weren't switching high enough. So I didn't like the defensive stuff, and then offensively, we were settling too much for a team that we didn't need to settle. I thought they let a lot of physicality go, and we sort of shied away from it. Needed to go into contact more. So I just wanted to settle our troops a little bit.
So it's more just emotional than anything else? Yeah,
it's also that our guys played a little tired, to be quite honest, and that's not really how they are. So it is almost halfway through the league here. It's a late tip, and a lot went into the last week or so. So. I also just kind of wanted to give them a little bit of a rest and just regroup.
You guys look so comfortable in the first half, almost just dominant in a way. What changed in the second half offensively?
They obviously shot the ball really, really well, and we felt like I think most of them I won't mind when I look back at it. So they made big shots, and conversely, we sort of didn't. We just didn't shoot well. We had that nice board kick out to Lexi, didn't make it. Lexi had that nice pull up off of a kind of a hit action and didn't make it, and Alyssa had that nice. So it just didn't come easy, right? And that's okay. I thought this group showed a lot of toughness and resolve. Reniya brings a real steadying force to this team, and she just I thought she helped us in a lot of moments as well.
I think there seems to be a pattern of building a lead and then giving it up. You didn't do that in the second half Sunday, but it occurred again. Can you explain this pattern, this recurring pattern?
Yeah, very much, and that's that. There's really good teams in our league, so we play really, really well and build up a lead, and then they make big shots. This is a tournament team, no doubt. This is a tournament team, and so when you look at their record, you don't look at their schedule. They've played NC State, who they beat handily. They've played Notre Dame. They've played Louisville. They've played Virginia Tech. They've played a lot of the really best teams in our conference, so their record's not accurate. It's a really, really good team, and so there's just not the rollover and die. People don't come to this is a basketball conference. People don't come to just roll over when they get down. So I don't know if it's as much what we're doing as it is just really good teams, and that's just kind of the way it goes.
Reniya, what was it like for you and for the team in the final minutes there? It's getting tense. They cut it to 3.
Honestly, we prepare for moments like that, every practice. So I think just being stay, just having a calm demeanor, that was really important at the last, few minutes. So we prepare for moments like this. So we're really not, frustrated about those moments. Of course, we won, but I think we still need to practice on them in practice. But we always prepare for those moments, so we're not really surprised.
Reniya, can you talk about your progression since you came back from the concussion? You kind of slowed to find your rhythm, but you've been making better decisions on the offensive end, but the shots weren't falling, and then they finally fell today.
The amount of preparation, focus, hard work I've had over the past couple weeks on my shot has been crazy. So, the amount of trust the coaches have, the players have for me is just crazy. So it's all just paying off at the end. So I'm just, happy with the results.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I know you're a prolific scorer in high school, but you had a lot of three-pointers too, right?
Yeah.
How many three-pointers did you make in a game in high school?
6.
6?
Yeah, to 5,
so you knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was coming because of the preparation and hard work out there. So
Yeah, she's in the gym. All the time. This kid, it matters to her. I go down there about a half hour before, and these guys are both already in there. This matters to them.
And how much more important is it now that Paulina hasn't been able to play the last 3 games for you to?
One man down, so everyone else has to step up. So once again, we're still prepared for these moments, and we're just gonna keep building on it.
Coach, all 5 players had double figures today. What does that say about this team to be able to be so balanced in scoring?
Yeah, and to win in a variety of ways. I thought there's been so many games where the bench was exactly what we needed for one of our guys maybe not playing as well in that first group. And so this was a game where we really needed the first five, and the bench didn't give us as much as usual. And so it's just a true team. I mean, there's a lot of guys that care and are locked in, and we trust. And so, it's just one of those games that worked out with those five. But the bench has been huge for us, and we will need them to continue to be.
Then Maria, you were open a lot inside, and you got some good passes from your teammates. What was working for you to be so productive offensively?
I think being more physical than I have in the last couple games, and just making sure that I get position early, because I know that the way teams scout me is they want to push me out, and they know that I'm most effective on the block. So making sure I do my work early, finish through contact instead of fading away. So those are things I've been working on.
I mean, you've faced a lot of physical centers recently, and it's not always gone well, but it did today.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Just resolve?
I would say just the way I prepare, knowing who I'm going to play against, and then how I prepare with my position coach, and just practicing every day, working through, finishing through on both sides of the basket, just making sure that I know that this conference is tough, and all the players that in this conference are tough. So making sure that I prepare it the right way and the same way every time.
So you got really good feeds. I remember the first play of the game when Reniya got to that deep feed. I mean, I think the guys are getting her. She's doing her work early, and then we really prioritize it. When she's open, you have to throw it to her.
Courtney, you talked about earlier just this was kind of the sign of a good team that you could survive this game. Can you just kind of elaborate on what you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really good team. I feel like I've watched a lot of basketball. I've watched a lot of our league, and this is a tournament team. There's no doubt about it. They were in the Elite Eight last year. I mean, this is a team that's hard to guard at multiple positions. They have great length. They're really deep, so they can come at you the whole time. Like, they're just going at you on both ends. And it was a really physical game. It didn't have a lot of fouls involved, so you had to kind of play through it. And like I said, I mean, our bench has been, really an unsung or now pretty well sung supporting cast, and they weren't, as good as they usually are. We didn't shoot it as well as we usually do, either, as we have since we've gotten healthy. So it wasn't easy, and we still just found a way, and against a really good tournament team to find a way when you're not playing great, pretty good. When they play well, they made 12 threes, guys, 12.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were open. I mean, it wasn't like we didn't miss a lot of defensive assignments. I thought we missed 2 in the first half that we secured. They didn't get us on that action again in the whole game. But I mean, there were a lot of late shot clock heaps that went in, and that's just kind of soul crushing. And these guys just don't let other people crush their soul. It's pretty great.
Well, Dave Wilson hit you guys for 24, I think, last season for Duke.
Yeah.
So you knew what was coming. What was your approach with her?
The neat thing about this group is, as much as they're fighters on game day. When they're with me in practice, they're total preparers. Total. Like, I left the office, or I was walking back in the office yesterday, and she was in watching film with somebody. She was still on the court. I mean, and so we know what these players can do. We know if they want to go right or left. We know what point of the floor they can be more dangerous. It doesn't matter what I know. It matters what they can retain. And their level of concentration, especially, we're looking at a freshman. I mean, she knew what she needed to do. And like I said, when I think we watch Dave Wilson's shots back, I don't think we'll hate him. Just a really good player.
Maria and Reniya, can y'all talk about, Coach mentioned earlier this season the defense being something that's always there, but the offense needing to progress. What work has been put in over the course of this season to have all starters contributing and reaching those double digits like they did tonight?
I think what was most important about tonight is that we were able to share the ball, moving the ball, reversing, making sure we get the right shot, the open shot, and that's something that we work on a lot. Whether it's like getting the ball screen or just like seeing me down low or Reniya getting an open corner 3. So I think that's what we've been working on. So that's what's like starting to work for us.
Yeah, she basically said everything. Defense do win games, but I think we also prepared to make the extra pass, make the post feed, make the one dribble pull up. So we all just prepare for this and we work together and create shots for each other.
Could you talk about Deja's combination of drawing fouls? She drew 11 fouls in the game, and then in the clutch free throws. I mean,
Huge, yeah. Deja's, I've been saying this, she's got, I think, the best handle in college basketball. She can really handle the ball. And so when you're trying to guard her, she can get into hips, she changes her pace, she changes her elevation, she goes low, high. She's really hard to contain. And so you can decide to just play off her, and then she gets into her range, and that's not great either. So I think people are trying to get it out of her hands, and when you do that, she can attack hips like the best of them. I think Reniya's learning a lot, but she also has a great handle. It's like every little kid watching Deja Kelly or Reniya Kelly play should be out there dribbling.
Kind of a sidelight question, particularly to you two, because you talked about it on social media. Those guys who were changing their jerseys throughout the game. I talked to that guy before the game. Could you talk about how
It's
how
just
you
so
react
cool.
to that?
So you've got a supporter of our program who has that, not only that idea, but he only has 4 seats. So he got the guy next to him to do it too. And you're talking 5 men supporting women's basketball to the point that they're changing their jerseys so that they have the 5 on the floor to support them. You know, it's just, they thought of it, they executed it, and it's just so awesome. And you know, if you look at that student section today, these guys have earned such a great following, and I'm so proud of them, and I'm so grateful, because the students carried it tonight. They certainly, it's a late night for a lot of our young kids, my own included, but to have all those students there, and to have just the community of people doing stuff like jersey changing, I mean, it's the place to be here. The Carmichael's the place to be.
He said he didn't know about the social media until
That's what I
you
mean.
told him.
I told him. I texted him. I sent a picture of it, and I texted him and sent it to him as a friend of the program. And he wasn't doing it for any. His response was happy to do it. Just want to support however I can.
And Marie, I know you quote tweeted it. Tell me your reaction.
I just thought it was really funny that they would switch out every time someone subbed in, and then even today they had Caleb McPherson's jersey on. So I think like showing support even for the players who aren't on the floor is it was remarkable.
Coach, can you tell us about your jersey and
Yeah,
who came up
absolutely.
with that
So,
idea?
Jersey Days was what we had, and I figured I should celebrate my favorite team and my favorite player. And I think this team sort of says it all. This is a true team. So you add up all their jersey numbers, you get 204, and that's kind of what this team has become. We need every one of the numbers in 204 to collectively get wins. And I thought, I said that before the game. We've gotten that every night. Like when your number is called, I need it, right? And so my favorite team, my favorite player, all in one shirt. But I feel bad, you guys. These are hot. I'm like, these are hot. No wonder you sweat so
Oh
much.
my, it was so hot in the gym.
Oh, Lord. I can't wait to take it off.
Coach, how happy were you with that final defensive possession
Oh.
and everything that came down to the wire and then getting the charge and all that?
Oh my gosh, Indy just made a huge play. Indy also had that block on the double help on the big kid. She's obviously she plays with great angles, great athlete. You need big stops to win games late. I mean, you don't run through this league. You just don't. You have to kind of find your way. And this got us to number 7, and I promise you that's all we're worried about, one at a time. So we got 7, and now we celebrate this win tonight, and starting tomorrow morning we focus on getting number 8.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.